Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and with this video I'd like to talk about Doctor Who once again, relating to that great topic of great companions that never were in the history of Doctor Who. These are supporting characters, actors or actresses that really stood out to me for one reason or another, that made me think their character would have been an interesting addition to the TARDIS Travelers on further adventures in time and space with the Doctor. And in this particular video, I'm going to be going with a classic series choice, going all the way back to the William Hartnell era, with the story The Aztecs and the character therein, Cameca. Now, this was a mesmerizing story. It's one of my personal favorites of the Hartnell era. It's very early on in Doctor Who history, so he's still traveling with Ian, Barbara, and his granddaughter Susan, where essentially the TARDIS lands in the middle of an Aztec tomb in like the 1400s or what have you. And once, Barbara has stumbled across this bracelet and through a doorway, she's witnessed by one of the high priests of this Aztec community and mistaken for the goddess Yetaxa. And let's just say hilarity and calamity ensue, the likes of which Ian is basically misinterpreted as being a warrior, and he's pitted against the chief warrior chosen by the people. You have Susan's intelligence being put under the test, and her having to basically be forced to learn the ways and respectability of these particular Aztecs. And the Doctor is basically strolling around a garden and courting the woman that I'm talking about, Cameca. And this woman, Cameca, is one that he befriends almost immediately. He's trying to figure out a way to get back inside the tomb, because essentially they're trapped outside of it. The way the door opens, it cannot be opened again from the outside. So he figures there's got to be a way for the person who constructed this particular pyramid, this Aztec pyramid, to have gone back in if need be, if it was necessary. And in doing so, he talks to this woman and inadvertently ends up having a couple cups of cocoa with her. Now, cocoa beans are seen to be almost divine, and essentially they are only brought out in times of great importance, like, say, getting engaged. And in this particular story, the Doctor doesn't even realize that he has gotten engaged with this woman, Cameca. And so in a sense, it was the Doctor's wife before that was cool, before that was something. With the modern series and the Doctor's wife episode being the TARDIS or River Song or what have you. Why I think this would have been an interesting character to add to the dynamics of the companions at the time would have been, for the first part, you have Susan, who is the Doctor's granddaughter. That tells us that he ran away from Gallifrey with one of his kin, but his granddaughter. Where are potentially his children that had her? Where is his wife? Where are his parents? Where is his family? That kind of thing. What exactly left them behind? It was so great to leave them behind, put it that way. And I think it would have been a very interesting dynamic if Susan had maybe been a little bit less the damsel in distress kind of thing, as I discussed in another video, as far as Susan, the way she was meant to be. If maybe this woman being brought into the TARDIS was a point of contention for her, because, she would be sort of holding animosity toward this woman, this usurper, if you will, who was in her moonlighting years. It's not like she would be a great threat. But if, they left behind their family and the Doctor was still married or his wife was still alive or what have you, and he had children which were Susan's parents, she might feel a little animosity toward this woman for coming in, for being a wedge, between them and everything like that. That could have made for some interesting story dynamics. Of course, at the time, early on in the series, maybe it wouldn't have lended too well to have gone into that kind of storytelling so soon in the series after it was debuted to the world, but I think it would have been very fascinating. Another aspect to this character would have been she was pretty much a botanist. She made most of the majority of her moonlighting years studying plant life and becoming well-versed in them. In fact, there's a crucial moment in the Aztec story where, through her knowledge, the Doctor realizes he can use a sort of not quite a poison, but like a knockout potion that he concocts with a plant and sort of a pine needle, that kind of thing. And this is knowledge he gains from hers, because she is very fluent in plant life and everything like that. And this was something I really wish they would have delved into more with the character of Peri in the Colin Baker era, because she was said to be a botanist, and I think there was only one story that I saw, at least, where that was even mentioned. So it would have been interesting if they had gone to alien worlds and stuff like that and saw mysterious plant life, or maybe had plants that were a threat, that kind of thing, and she would have been a very integral role in figuring out how to best them, or figuring out a antidote to a poison, that kind of stuff. And so I think this character of Cameca would have been very interesting to have seen in, another capacity of traveling with the Doctor and the TARDIS. Not necessarily undoing what we got with Ian, Barbara, and Susan, but, as a sort of alternative spin-off timeline, if you will, as most of these will be with the characters I've chosen. So yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below if you've ever seen the Aztecs, what you thought of that particular story, what you think of this particular choice. The woman the Doctor inadvertently gets engaged with, Cameca, in the story of the Aztecs. And otherwise, I highly recommend you check it out at your earliest convenience. And that'll be it for me on this one. So I hope this video finds you well, and I'll catch you later. Peace.